Luke Tanaka with Elmhurst head football coach Ron Planz. And Coach, we talked here last week. You said it would be tough to watch your seniors walk on to Langhorse Field for the last time, but did it make it a little sweeter to watch them walk off with a victory?
There's no doubt it was great watching them ring the bell, and that was something that I know I wanted, the coaching staff wanted, and I bet you if you asked every player on our team, they wanted the same thing, and it was great to see them go out and earn it. Go out and earn that victory and that opportunity to go ring the bell. One of our senior players said something to the coach. He said, "Well, I got one more game in Uncle Pete's backyard," and I thought that was an interesting way to put it and an appropriate way to put it, and it shows that our guys care about the tradition and history of Elmhurst, and it meant something to them.
In what ended up being a dominating 56-14 victory, you faced a 3rd and 11, I believe, on the very first drive, and Orlando Hernandez hits Kalen Miller in stride for a 47-yard touchdown. Do you think that shows how much Hernandez has grown as a thrower this year? We always knew he was a great runner, but growing as a thrower.
Absolutely. It was a great throw by him. It was a really good talk that they actually had on the sideline regarding things that might be open based on the way they were playing coming into the game, and for us to be able to make that adjustment and Orlando to make that throw, because that's not a play we had practiced during the week, but something that we thought was there. And Kalen and Orlando have great chemistry together when they're playing, and finding Kalen in open spots, and he's been really good this year. Very mature football player for him, and Orlando's ability to throw the ball up and let Kalen run it was awesome to watch.
While the offense racked up 28 points in the first 16 minutes, the defense actually played very well. Perhaps maybe a little overshadowed, but they limited Millikin to just 52 yards in that first quarter, and also had the one interception. Were you impressed by the way the defense played early in that game?
Absolutely, and I had mentioned last week it was awesome to see them get their swag back down at Wesleyan, and they carried it over into this week against Millikin. And when they're firing, when they're confident and playing physical, and with that swag we talked about, they're a very, very good defense, and they've shown it. They've shown it what they've done to other teams in this league this year, and it was awesome to watch them play, and they're having fun, and everybody was having fun. That was one of the things we talked about is, hey, just go out and have fun. You're going to have a beautiful day. It's November 5th. It's 67 degrees outside. What a better time to go out and play football, and our guys really took to that, and the defense especially was out there, and they were having a lot of fun.
In the third quarter, it seemed like Millikin was getting a little bit of momentum. They had gotten a couple scores, 14 unanswered points, obviously still leading by 21, but then with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, big interception by Sean Weatherall felt like just zapped that momentum. Weatherall, one of the 9 starting seniors you have on that defensive side of the ball. How impressed have you been with them really the entire season, but also in the game on Saturday?
Yeah, there probably was a little bit of momentum there. One of the hard things, and we talked about last week, do you learn a lesson from losing 13-10? And what can you carry to the next week? Well, you got to learn a lesson too, being up 35-7, and how do you continue to play the same football and not allow yourself to relax and keep the focus and energy that you had when it was 0-0. And I think our guys learned that because they picked it up right after that. We made a big play, and I'll tell you, the defense has been responsible for a lot of our momentum kicks, even going all the way back to our very first game against Loris, where the defense really sparked that comeback, and they caught that, Sean catching that interception, getting his feet down in bounds. Great play by him. Really reaffirmed everybody on the sideline that we're going to win this game and we're in complete control. And I think that was a great momentum movement for us for a team standpoint.
Those 9 seniors, it seemed like have made such a huge impact on the program. Talk about that impact a little bit.
Yeah, those guys on defense have been playing quite a bit of football since I got here. This whole senior class in general, I refer to them as my first recruiting class because they were the guys that chose to stick around after the coaching change back in March when I got here, and for the 3 years that we've had an opportunity to be with them, they've been kind of the standard bearers of what we want for a culture. They've been the standard bearers for what we want from guys on an academic side, from a football side, from a social side. They've done it all. The guys on defense have played quite a bit. They're the heart and soul of that side, and they've done that stuff for 3 years, and they're going to be tough to replace. But I really feel like they've done a phenomenal job of of passing the torch, so to speak, to some of the younger guys and taking them under the wings. Even guys on offense, they've taken under their wings and talked to, and I'm really, really excited for them moving forward, and their impact it's unmeasurable on the program.
Also, a very good game on special teams. It seems like one of the most complete games we've seen you play here at Langhorse Field this season. Of course, there were only 4, but it seemed like the special teams really stepped up. You had a couple of nice returns, also a blocked punt. Talk about their impact maybe on the entire season, something that maybe the home fans haven't been able to see unless they've been watching some road games.
Yeah, special teams has been pretty consistently good for us all year, which is great. We spend a lot of time on it. It's the one area that I'm responsible for. We got our offensive coordinator and Coach Norton, and we've got our defensive coordinator, Coach Briddick, and I'm kind of in charge of the special teams. But our guys buy into that being important. We do spend a lot of time on it during the week in practice. We have meetings about it during the week before practice. But it's such an impact of the game because in special teams, so much field position is traded. Even a kickoff, the kickoff from the 35, kick it down to the 20, all of a sudden you've changed, all that field position has just changed. And I thought that was huge this weekend especially. They refused to kick the ball, kick off to us. They did squib kicks and kind of these quasi onside kicks that rolled out of bounds most of the time. I think our average starting field position after a kickoff was almost R40 or R45. So that impacts the game. When you don't have to drive very far on offense, you should be able to put up some points because you only have to make 1 or 2 first downs, and all of a sudden you're in scoring range. I think they actually held the total yardage against us for the game, and part of that was because we started with the ball at our 50-yard line every time, which is great. I'll do that every game. I'll sacrifice offensive yardage stats for points any day of the week. So that was a big impact. And then in the punting game, we are known to bring a lot of pressure on the punt, and we have a very dynamic returner in Juwan back there. And they were kicking out of bounds, and the punter was definitely not in a rhythm. He dropped 2 snaps, one of them that resulted in us blocking it. The other one he threw an interception on. I don't know why he threw the ball, but he threw it. And that just changes the game. That is such a huge part of football that I think a lot of places don't spend as much time on, and we've really, really focused making that something we're good at.
Wrapping up the season this weekend on the road at North Central. Very tough place to play for Elmhurst in years past, but it'll be a final game. What is the key to this game? Maybe get off to a really fast start against the North Central team, bring all 3 fast sets. What do you think is the key on Saturday?
I think the key for us is to be who we are. Be a fundamentally sound physical football team that plays all 4 quarters. If we can do that, if we can go in with that mentality and that focus, I really think we've got an awesome opportunity in front of us to win this game. We've said it a couple times in our talks. We view ourselves as an elite program in this league. Elite programs have to play other elite programs, and this is going to be one of those times. And North Central is right now the elite program. They've already clinched a share of the conference championship. They've clinched a playoff berth. They've got their sights on that, but we're going to come after them as hard as we can, and our coaches are working hard on a game plan. Our players are working hard on learning that game plan, and I'm really looking forward to watching our guys go out and compete because I know not only the 30 seniors we've got, but the other guys that are going to travel to that game are going to be very hungry for this victory.
On the road at North Central in Naperville for the Blue Jays to round out their season. Coach, congrats on the win against Millikin, and good luck this weekend.
I appreciate it. Thanks.